The second video I ever made about the Tape and Microsound music machine was called Tape and Microsound Expansion Options. Of course, because the Tape and Microsound music machine has 10 HP blank spot in it. At the time, I recommended Tempi as an additional timed modulation source. But you know what? That was over 5 years ago, and at the time we hadn't yet released Zero Control or MultiMod. But now, we have, so let's bring them on board. Another thing that happened since 2019 is that Make Noise founder Tony Rolando started releasing music again. Most recently with Multiple Futures and Imagine a Dolphin. But the one I really want to talk about is his kind of comeback record, Breakin is a Memory. And the reason is that this record has a particular kind of synthesis and sequencing purity that I really admire. So much so that when I heard the track Moonlit Through a Veil of Smoke, I was inspired to arrange it for solo piano. Not something I would do with most pieces of electronic music. Tony multi-tracked, zero control based sequences with his own special by-ear tuning system, so it doesn't quite translate to a standard piano tuning. Also, the number of sequences that eventually overlap in the piece exceed my own piano hand skills, so I had to simplify it a bit. Good news is my piano was actually out of tune at the time I recorded it, so it's even farther from Tony's tuning than it would be, but retains something of the smoky, hazy feeling I get from the original. Okay, but so why bring this up? Well, I made a Morphogene reel out of my favorite parts of this piano recording. And I'm going to use that as the primary source for this Tape and Microsound MultiMod patch. Let's start with the pressure CV from Zero Control as a signal source for the MultiMod. And we use the red ramp reed shape to start. For sequencing, let's patch some MultiMod outputs to various places in the system. First, the channel index output. This gives us a signal indicating which of the 8 channels is highest at any given time. We'll attenuate this to taste with Math's channel 3 and use it to organize between the 8 different splices that are in this reel. I'm also going to use the pink channel, or the pink reed shape staircase, to turn our input into stepped voltage at the various rates that we can create by sequencing the MultiMod. Now let's patch some outputs. Gene size. Morph, and we'll attenuate that one as well with Math's channel 2. Slide. The right hand radiate of the QPOS and the left hand radiate. Mimeophone's micro rate. QPOS frequency. Mimeophone zone. Let's also take the end of splice gate and send it to QPOS's left gate input here. Let's sequence the MultiMod as well. We'll take the top CV row from 0 control, just spread. Middle one to phase. And the bottom one to time. And let's go ahead and use these dynamic envelopes as our CV source for the MultiMod. 0 controls mostly running pretty slowly here. So we get more occasional changes, but with different channels changing at different rates. Sometimes giving the effect of several changes happening in several different axes at once, at different overlapping rates. We could do a more traditional or cyclical set of changes by using the MultiMod's internal LFO, say in purple sine shape. In this case, I'd probably find it useful to turn down the depth of modulation to the slide so that it's mostly staying in the same general region of a splice instead of constantly sliding through the entire thing. The original melodies in Tony's composition here are heard, if at all, certainly through a veil of smoke. A flock of modulation obscures certain things while letting others emerge, maybe even combining it into something new sometimes. Do you ever use the morphogene or other modules for new angles on existing music? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching and happy patching.